wise and trying to tell them that's their saviour. That's who the Jesuits were. They were a section of a priesthood from the Catholic Church. In this respect, the Jesuits alone might have compared with us, but we have contrived to discredit them in the eyes of the unthinking mob as an overt organisation, while we ourselves all the while have kept our secret organisations in the shade, which is true. Because the reason why they say they compare themselves to the Jesuits were able to go to a continent, to a people that had no knowledge of them, and was able to convert them to worship the image of the beast, which is the white image of Christ, blonde hair and blue eyes. As we all know, Christ does not have blonde hair and blue eyes, and he's not white. And if you want to know that, just read Revelation chapter 1. Simple. It says, and it was said by the prophets that we are, it says, it says, it is through me that kings reign. And that's a quote from the scriptures. It is through me that kings reign. Yeah, and I think it's in Daniel. And it was said by the prophets that we were chosen by the Most High himself to rule over the whole earth. God has endowed us with genius that we may be equal to our task. But it is said by the prophets that we are chosen, but not them. Because they are not the real Jews. So yeah, he is right there. It is said by the prophets that we are the chosen, but we are chosen by the Most High himself to rule over the whole earth, but not them. And not in this time, and not until our Savior Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai comes with his angels and his chariots. It says, all the wheels of the machinery of all the states go by the force of the engine, which is in our hands. And that engine of machinery of state is gold. What did I just say to you? Gold is real money, it's real currency. So, when you're talking about all this paper money that they're printing, it's not real currency. Anyone can print money. But gold, you have to go and dig that shit up. Clean it up, purify it, pull it through the furnace. That's a real currency, gold and silver. And these devils know that. It says the principal object of our directorate consists in this: to deliberate the public mind by criticism, to lead it away from serious reflections calculated to arouse resistance, to distract the forces of mind towards a sham fight of empty eloquence. It says, in order to put public opinion into our hands, we must bring it into a state of bewilderment by giving expression for all sides to so many contradictory opinions, and for such length of time as will suffice to make the goyim lose their heads in the labyrinth and come to see that the best thing is to have no opinion of any kind in matters political, which is not given to the public to understand, because they are understood only by him who guides the public. This is the first secret. So he says there, he says he wants to, he says the best thing is to have no opinion of any kind, any matters. And how they're doing that? By dumbing down the public. I keep saying there was a movie made called Ideology. I think it was called Ideology. And it was about a whole nation of people that was dumbed down. There was a nuclear fallout and there was a nuclear war, and after that the whole nation was dumbed down. People didn't even know how to grow fucking tomatoes or anything. Yeah? Now, they're doing the same thing now. They're dumbing down the nation by using a few technologies. The internet, and when I say that, is because as much as the internet is there for you to search for information, they want you to be looked at it, because so much propaganda misinformation can be put on the internet. So spiritually, you've got to pray that Yahweh Shai is able to help you discern what is truth and what is a lie. Social media, dumbing down the nation. Your TV shows, your reality TV shows, dumbing down the nation. Your celebrities, dumbing down the nation. So once they've done that, and also the fluoride that they put in the water, it makes you docile. So once they've done that, like I said, it says the principal object of our directive consists in this: to liberate the public mind by criticism, to lead it away from serious reflections, calculated to arouse resistance, to distance the forces of the mind towards a sham fight of empty eloquence, which basically means to make it completely fucking docile. It says, in place of the rulers of today, right? So in place of those who still have monarchies, you know, in place of all of the different rulers today, it says, we shall set up a bogey which will be called the super government administration. Its hands will reach out in all directions like nippers, and its organization will be of such colossal dimensions that it cannot fail to subdue all the nations of the world. There you go. Protocol number 6. Monopolies, upon them depend the fortunes of the goyim. Taking of the land out of the hands of taking of the land out of the hands of the aristocracy, trade, industry, speculation, luxury, rise of wages and increase of price in articles of primary necessities, anarchism and drunkenness, secret meanings of the propaganda of economic theories. I tell you, they've got you like a book. We shall soon begin to establish huge monopolies, reservoirs of colossal riches, upon which even large fortunes of the goyim will depend to such an extent that they will go to the bottom together with the credit of the states on the day after the political smash. So, America is what? $17 trillion in debt, which they're never going to be able to pay back. Never, 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 never. But what does that mean? Someone's got to cause a crash. The crash has got to happen somewhere. So what are the elitists, the Illuminati? What are the learned elders of Zion planning? A major, major, major crash. Because when America crashes, it's going to be like a domino effect. The whole world is going to fall with it. So it says to complete the ruin of the industry of the goyim. Every time when I say goyim, I'm talking your average John Doe, the public, who they consider a non-Jew. Yeah, we shall bring to the assistance of speculation the luxury which we have developed among the goyim. That greedy demand for luxury which is swallowing up everything. We shall raise the rate of wages, which, however, will not bring any advantage to the workers. For at the same time, we shall produce a rise in prices of the first necessities of life, alleging that it arises from the decline of agriculture and cattle breeding. We shall further undermine artfully and deeply sources of production by accustoming the workers to anarchy and to drunkenness, and side by side therewith taking all measures to extirpate from the fact of the earth all the educated forces of the goyim. In order that the true meaning of things may not strike the goyim before the proper time, we shall mask it under an alleged ardent desire to serve the working classes and the great principles of political economy about which our economic theories are carrying on an energetic propaganda. So before you suckers wake up, I tell you, they're going to bring the wrath of the Most High on you, of Satan on you, sorry. Protocol number 7. Objects of intensification of armaments, ferments, discords and hostility all over the world, checking the opposition of the goyim by wars and by universal war. It says throughout all Europe and by means of relations with Europe in other continents also, we must create ferments, discords and hostility. Therein we gain a double advantage. In the first place, we keep in check all countries, for they well know that we have the power whenever we like to create disorders or to restore order. All these countries are accustomed to see in us an indispensable force of coercion. So, that's what I did to Gaddafi. The minute he wanted out, the minute Gaddafi got wind of what was going on, they took him out. Same thing with Saddam. Same thing with the Taliban. The Taliban was ready-made in the USA, and they switched and they said, you know what, we've had enough of dealing with Satan. And what did they do? They blew up their own buildings and then sent in their armies. They blew up their own Twin Towers. The Americans, yes, the United States of American government blew up their own buildings, the World Trade Center buildings, and then they went and invaded Afghanistan because the Taliban wasn't dealing with them no more and was refusing to allow the farmers to grow the poppy plant to create opium, to make heroin for the American government. Simple. In a word, to sum up our system of checking the government of the Goyim in Europe in check, we shall show our strength to one of them by terrorist attempts. So, what did I just say to you? It says, in a word, to sum up our system of keeping the government of the Goyim in Europe in check, but just to make sure that they follow up their orders that they've been given, we shall show our strength to one of them by terrorist attempts, and to all. If we allow the possibility of a general rising against us, we shall respond with the guns of America or China or Japan. Taras Club. America, China. Oh, let me tell you, you think America and China are fighting against one another? They're all in it together. All in it together. It's all lip service. It's all just for the public facing. Behind the scenes, these guys are dealing completely different. Simple. So they prepared to set up terrorists, to create terrorist attempts on all these countries in Europe, or any other country that doesn't play ball. See it there? Protocol number 8, ambiguous employment of judicial rights, assistance of the Masonic Directorate, special schools and super educational training, economists and millionaires to whom to entrust responsible posts in the government. It says, we shall surround our government with a whole world of economists. This is the reason why economic science from the principal subject of the teaching given to the Jews. Around us again will be a whole constellation of bankers, industrialists, capitalists, and the main thing, millionaires, because in substance everything will be settled by the question of figures. Protocol number 9, applications of Masonic principles in the matter of re-educating the people. Masonic watchwords, meaning of anti-Semitism, dictatorship of Masonry, terror. Who are the servants of Masonry? Meaning of the clear-sighted and the blind forces of the Goyim states. Communion between authority and the mob, license of liberalism, seizure of education and training, false theories, interpretations of laws, the undergrounds. It says, this is still protocol number 9. This is number from prior. It says, and the weapons in our hands are limitless, ambitions, burning greediness, merciless vengeance, hatred and malice. It is from us that all engulfing terror proceeds. We have in our service persons of all opinions, of all doctrines, restorating monarchists, demagogues, socialists, communists, and utopian dreamers of every kind. We have harnessed them all to the task. Each one of them on his own account is boring away at the last remnants of authority, is striving to overthrow all established form of order. By these acts all states are in torture. They exhort to tranquility, are ready to sacrifice everything for peace. But we will not give them peace until they openly acknowledge our international super government and with their submissiveness. So what is the international super government? This is their new world order, global. This is NATO, basically. That's their new global super government, NATO, and the European Union is another form of a super government. So they're saying that by these acts, all states are in torture.